So good day everyone, I am the first reporter for Group 3 and my topic is all about the British invaders. So, nicolonize ang Britain sa atua in the year 1762 to 1764, which is 2 years sira, and it's only a part of 7 years war sa ubang nasod, which is time na the year 1756 to 1763. Ang mga bansa ani nga nag-away, which is Alliance of France, Austria, Saxony, Sweden, and Russia against Prussia, Hanover, and the Great Britain. So, ang kining France, friend ni siya sa Spanish sa una bito kay Juan, which is related sila sa Bourbon family. Ang mga kings adto nila, ang time atong king sa Spain kay si Philippe the VI and the former kings of France including Louis XIV, related sila sa Bourbon family, or which is called the House of Bourbon-Anjou. Mo to nga na friend ang France sa Spain. So, the two leading opponents in this war were Britain and France. And then, they clashed in Europe, America, and Asia. So, nadamay ra ang Pilipinas ani, which is murag gihimo ra pong rason sa Britain nga sakupon ang Pilipinas. So, morning time nga naay tulo ka gobernador general ang Pilipinas, and then matakol ni siya sa mga umaabot pa nga mga reporter. So, moto, and then the arrival of the British invaders. So, giplan ni siya from India by the British East India Company. So, British officials of the East India Company prepared the military expedition for conquest of the Philippines, which is ang kuan lagi kanang Philippines sa una kay Spanish colony pa ni siya. So the British expedition abot ning kuan 13 ka barko ang gigamit sa Britain pag-ari sa Pilipinas, and then consist of 6,830 ka mga military. Ang military ani nga panahon kay Britain o ang mga Indian. And then ang commanders ani nila duha ka buok, si Admiral Samuel Cornish and General William Draper. So pagka September 22, 1762, British fleet entered the Manila Bay. So morning time nga ni-entered na sa Manila Bay ang British, and then ang mga tao ani, which is British and India. They did not know that Spain was now at war with Britain. So walay kasayuran ang mga tao nga kuan kay, because they had not received any news about the 7 years war rather. Murag walay no earth ang mga tao ani nga naday gubot sa laing bansa. Then surrender of Manila to the British. September 23, 1762, the two British officers under a flag of truce went ashore and entered Manila. So morning nga time na nakaabot na jud, na-entered na jud sa Pilipinas ang mga British. Moton, the acting Spanish Governor General was Archbishop Manuel Antonio Rojo. The Archbishop was surprised but he refused to surrender. So bisan pa man, which is nakuan siya na surprise sila sa pag-abot, wala gid siya ni surrender, murag ni kontra gid siya ani nga time. So mao to nga dili man gusto ni Rojo nasa kupon ang Pilipinas pag-abot sa Britain. So moto si General Draper immediately ordered the attack of Manila, kay di man mosugot lagi ang gobernador general ato nga time. Moto nga gi-attack sa mga tropa ni General William Draper. ang Manila. And then, the British troop landed at Malate and the areas of Ermita, Malate, Bagumbayan around Intramuros. So, dapat gihapon siya sa Intramuros o ang pag-atake. So, nagihapoy lain nga anang nilaban the other was led by Manalastas, a Fairless Pampangueño who led some Filipino warriors from nearby provinces. So, kay time ani kuan na ng loyal kayo ang mga Pilipino sa mga Spaniards. Mautong nilaban sila, gilabanan nila ang kuan tropa sa Britain bisag kulang sila sa mga kagamitan og ang ilahang militar, dili gid sila ready adtong nga time kay kalit-kalit lagi ang pag-abot. But they too were outfought by the British invaders. So mo na to ni kuan sila, niatake sila pero wag gihapon nakolonize sa gihapon ang Pilipinas sa Britain kay dili sila ready pag-abot sa Britain kay kaabi nila og unsay kalihukan anong na ang Britain dito na kuha na dito nagkagubot na dahil sa mga laing nasod nga wala man gani nakabalo ang Pilipinas, wala sila nakabalo, wala sila nakabalita nga na ay gira sa uban pang nasod. That's all for my report and thank you for listening.
Everyone, my assigned topic tonight is all about the British versus Spain, the looting of Manila, and the spoils of war. We talk first about what is the British versus Spain. So British Empire, it is the United Kingdom, particularly during the 19th and the early 20th centuries. It was a dominant global power with a vast empire that spanned continents. This imperial legacy has influenced its global relations, economic policies, and cultural exchanges. While the Spanish Empire, Spain was also a major imperial power, particularly Americas during the 16th and 17th centuries. So the Spanish Empire's influence is evident in Latin America, where the Spanish is the primary language, and in the cultural practices that persist today. Now let's proceed to the looting of Manila. So the looting of Manila refers to two significant historical events: the British invasion of 1762 and the Japanese occupation during World War II. British invasion of 1762. During the 7 Years' War, British forces captured Manila in 1762. Following the city's surrender, British troops engaged in a 40-hour looting spree, so targeting churches, homes, and publishing buildings. So they stole valuable jewels, gold, silver, coins, art, treasures, and other precious items. So this looting had a devastating impact on Manila's cultural heritage and the local population. The Spanish crown refused to pay the full ransom demanded by the British, citing the violation of the surrender agreement. So that was the happening of the looting of Manila. So these events have left a lasting impact on Manila's history and culture. They serve as reminders of the devastating consequences of war and the importance of protecting cultural heritage. So now it's bound to spoils of war. So what is spoils of war? So the term spoils of war refers to profits or valuable items seized by the victorious party during or after a conflict. So this can include weapons, money, valuable possessions, and cultural artifacts. So the concept encompasses both legitimate claims to property taken during warfare warfare, and the illegitimate looting that can occur. So, in summary, ako na siya gi-summarize. So, spills of war, it encompasses the items seized during military conflicts with historical, legal, and ethical dimensions that continue to provoke discussions and also to debate in contemporary society. So, that's all. Thank you for watching.
So good day everyone, my topic is a continuation of chapter 12, the British invasion. So now, let us discuss the three governor-general in the Philippines. So the first one is Dawson Drake. He is a British governor-general. And after the capture in Manila, he appointed as the first British governor-general here in the Philippines. So he served, or his tenure lasted from November 12, 1762 to May 31, 1764. So it's almost 2 years of his service. So his administration faced a lot of challenges, including managing a foreign occupation and dealing with local resistance. So Dawson Drake was responsible for administering Manila during the British occupation, which include collecting ransom payments from the Spanish, promoting trade, and defending the city's perimeter. So Drake's time as a governor was short-lived, but it had a significant impact in the Philippines. So the second one is Manuel Rojo del Rio Ibarra. So the acting Spanish Governor-General or Archbishop Antonio Manuel Rojo. He served as the 16th Archbishop of Manila and Governor-General of the Philippines from July 1761 until his death on January 30, 1764. So he was appointed as Governor-General after the death of Pedro Manuel de Arandia. So Rojo was in office when the British captured Manila in October 1762. So although surrendered and claimed to be real defeated leader of Spanish forces and residents, he died in office shortly after the British occupation began on January 30, 1764. So Rojo is remembered for his role as Governor-General during a critical period in the Philippine history. So the third one is Simon de Anda y Salazar, served as the rebel Governor-General for the Spanish during the British occupation. So during the British invasion in 1762, Anda escaped Manila with much of the treasury and documents and went to Bacolor. So after that, he served as the Governor-General from July 1770 until his death on October 30, 1776. So it's almost 60 years of his service as a Governor-General. So during his term, he reformed the Spanish and Philippine army, engaged in public works, and opposed the king's order to secularize the curacies held by the regulars. So Anda, considered as the hero of Filipino nationalism for his resistance against the British and his effort to maintain Spanish authority in the Philippines. So several municipalities of the Philippines, including Simon in Pampanga, Anda in Bohol, and Anda in Pangasinan, are named in his honor. So the next topic that I tackled is all about the Filipino remain loyal to Spain. So why is Filipino remain loyal to Spain after all the Spanish did to the Filipinos? The first reason why the Filipino remain loyal to Spain is that the Spain did not conquer the province. They only conquered Manila, Cavite, and some other nearby areas like Cainta, Taytay, and Pasig. So while the Spanish rule was harsh and exploitative, it was the only system Filipino knew. They had no experience with British rule or any other foreign power. The British invasion, while disruptive, they did not offer a clear path to a better future. So Filipinos were not necessarily loyal to Spain as much as they were afraid of the unknown. They feared the British rule might be even worse than Spanish rule, and they were unwilling to risk a change that might not be beneficial for them. The next topic that I tackled is all about the Filipino did not welcome the British because of two reasons. So the first one is past experience with foreign invaders. So they were shocked by the horrible looting of Manila after it was surrendered to the British. So we all know that the Filipinos had already experienced the brutality of foreign invaders, particularly during the Spanish conquest. So they know that the British, like the Spanish, were motivated by imperial ambitions and were not there for benefits of the Filipinos. This experience fueled a deep-seated distrust and fear of foreign powers. So the second reason why Filipino did not welcome the British is that desire for independence. So Spanish priests warned them that the British were Protestants who did not believe in the Catholic religion. So while the Filipinos were still under Spanish rule, there was a growing desire for independence. The British invasion was seen as another attempt to subjugate the Philippines, not as a chance for liberation, but for independence. So let's proceed to the next topic, which is end of British invasion. So British invasion ended in 1764. British withdrew from Manila after 2 years of occupation. So the European big powers signed the Treaty of Paris on February 10, 1763 to end the war. So the British were unable to fully control the Philippines. It's because of Simon Anda, which led a successful resistance movement from outside the Manila. So on May 31, 1764, the rebel leader Anda and his troops made their triumphant entry into Manila to the cheers of the people, the salute of guns, and the sound of music. At the patio of Santa Cruz Church in Manila, the British handed over the ruling power back to Spain. So the British armies sailed away and never to return. British had occupied the Philippines for a year or for almost a year and a half. The last topic that I tackled is all about the historical values. So after the British invasion, the British opened the Philippines to the outside world. The defeat of the Spaniards by the British could beat the Spaniards, then the Filipinos could do it too. After that, the British introduced the English language and free local elections in the Philippines and brought their lively music and dances, as well as some social customs and dress. So many Indian soldiers, or called Sipuya, deserted the British army and settled here in the Philippines. So the British occupied the island of Balambangan, which is between Palawan and Borneo.
So, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, ma'am. I am the reporter of Group 3, and my assigned topic is all about the Chapter 13 Filipino revolts against Spain. So, there are the causes of revolts. First is our love for freedom and independence. Tungod kay para naatay kalayaan sa ato ang nasod. So, kay 'di ba gisakop man ta sa mga Spanish, so wala tay kalayaan adto nga time. So ang mga Filipino is wala gyud kalayaan, wala gyud freedom adto nga time because gikontrol ta sa mga Spanish. Second is abuses of Spanish encomenderos. So sa panahon ni gisakop ta sa mga sa Espanya is kanang grabe ang pang-aabuso nga ilahang gihatag sa mga Filipino. So that's why ning revolt ang mga Filipino against sa Spain. And third is tribute residence tax. So kani is mo ni siya ang katong ang mga Filipino is pagbayad og kanang mga dagkong buhis or mga mabibigat na buwis nga gipatos sa mga Filipino gikan sa mga Spanish. And fourth is forced labor. So kani ang mga Filipino is gipugos ang mga Filipino sa pagtrabaho sa mga Spaniards. So ang mga Filipino is nagtrabaho sa mga Spaniards nga walay bayad. So dili jud siya makatarungan para sa mga Filipino. That's why ning revolt ang Filipino sa Spain. And fifth is land grabbing by the friars. So mo ni siya ang katong ang mga yuta sad sa mga Filipino is ilog sa mga praile o gipahawa sad ang mga magsasaka. So tungod adto kanang naglisod ang mga farmers. And sixth is Basi wine monopoly. So kaning Basi wine or gitawag siya Basi, mo ni siya ang kanang homemade wine from sugarcane, which is ang mong ni-revolt pud ang kanang Filipino against sa Spain kay because gikontrol ang mga Filipino sa government gobyerno sa Espanya, which is gibanned ang mga Filipino sa paggama og homemade wine nga which is ang mga tao sa Ilocos hated this order because they were now forced to buy the wine from government stores. And seventh is religion. So usa po ni siya ka causes of revolt because tungod kay gigamit sa mga Espanyol ang religion para kontrolon ang mga Filipino. And also, here are the examples of Filipino revolts against Spain. So first is the Guhoy revolts in 1744 to 1829. So Francisco Dagohoy, born Francisco Sindrijas in 1724. He was a Filipino revolutionary who holds the distinction of having initiated the longest revolt in the Philippine history. So iyahang kanang revolt ang pinaka-longest revolt in the Philippine history, which is mao to ang Daguhoy Rebellion. So this rebellion against the Spanish colonial government took place on the island of Bohol. So diri nahitabo sa Bohol ang atong revolt ni Daguhoy from 1744 to 1829. So it lasted for 85 years. And Francisco Daguhoy started the revolt at the age of 20. So the name Daguhoy is kanang pinagdugtong-dugtong o kuan ni siya sa Visayan phrase, which is katong dagon sa huyuhoy or talisman of the breeze in English. And his brother is named as Sagarino Daguhoy, one of the reason for his rebellion. One of the reason for his rebellion was about his brother. Tungod sa iyahang igsuon nahimo ni nga kanang revolt because his brother killed in a duel with a rebel. And the Catholic priest called Jesuita refused to give him a Christian burial because dueling was a mortal sin daw. So tungod adto, Daguhoy got angry and led his people in a revolt. And as a result, he killed the two priests and continued his rebellion against the Spanish colonial government. 20 Spanish governor generals failed to stop this rebellion. So sa 20 ka Spanish governor generals, they failed na wala gid sila nakapahunong sa revolt ni Daguhoy. In 1827, Governor Manuel Riccaforte ordered 2,200 Filipino Spanish troops to attack the Bohol Patriots. So si Gobernador Manuel Ricafort is nagpada siya og 2,200 ka Filipino-Spanish troops para makiglaban sa Bohol Patriots. But failed kanang wala sila na nag-succeed sa ilahang plan. In 1828 to 1829, another attack was made, so lain na pod ang kanang pakikipaglaban ang gibuhat. And after years of fighting, the Patriots were finally defeated. So kadugayang pakig-fight sa mga Patriots is napildi na sila. Then Daguhoy died 2 years before the Filipino Patriots were defeated. So sa 2 years before daw na namatay si Daguhoy, moto ang mga Filipino Patriots is napildi na. And 19,000 survivors were pardoned and allowed to live in a new village. So, moni ang katong sa Bohol. And they set up their own free government in the mountains. Sa tong Batuan, Balilihan, Tabulaw, Katiguan, and Vilar. So, and they no longer wanted to be under the Spaniards again. Second is Silang's revolt in 1762 to 1763. So Diego Silang was born on December 16, 1730 at Caba, La Union, the northern part of the Philippines. He was baptized on January 7, 1731 in Vigan, Ilocos Sur. And Diego, from a young age, Diego witnessed the injustice inflicted upon his fellow Filipino by the Spanish authorities. So, from his young age, si Diego na witness niya kung giunsa ang mga Filipino, iyahang mga fellow Filipino sa mga Spanish authorities, kung giunsa pag-abuso, mga na walang hustisya. So mauto si Diego Silang and his wife Gabriela Silang lead this famous revolt in Ilocos. And his goal was to create a free and fair para na pagka pantay-pantay sa ilang society where the people's right were respected and they were no longer subjected to oppress taxes and policies nga gihimo sa mga Spaniards. And on December 14, 1762, Diego Silang declared the independence of his people and established Vigan as the capital of Free Ilocos. And Diego Silang was assassinated on May 28, 1763 by Miguel Vicos. So si Miguel Vicos muni ang the assassin who shoot Silang in his back. So Diego Silang died in the arms of his wife Gabriela. And kisa man din si Miguel Vicos. So kani si Miguel Vicos was a Spanish Ilocano mestizo who was a friend of Diego Silang. So usa siya sa amigo ni Diego Silang, but he betrayed Silang and orchestrated his assassination because kani si Miguel Vicos is gibayaran ni siya sa mga sa Spanish authorities nga patiyon si Diego Silang. And bisan friend sila ni Diego Silang, he betrayed Silang to in exchange for money from the Spanish authorities. And after the sa pagkamatay sa husband ni Gabriela Silang continued the revolt after his husband death, and she was successful in many battles and was known as the Joan Arc of the Ilocos. But Gabriela was defeated and executed at Vigan on September 10, 1763. So third is First Pampanga Revolt in 1585. So the First Pampanga Revolt in 1585 was caused by the mistreatment of the Filipino people by Spanish encomenderos. So tungod nahimo ning First Pampanga Revolt tungod sa dili maayong pagtrato sa mga Spanish encomenderos sa mga Filipino people. And the Spanish encomenderos is mo ni sila ang mga landowners who control the labor of the indigenous population. And a group of Pampanga leaders planned a rebellion to kill Spanish officials in Intramuros. So, ang mga Pampanga leaders is nagplan sila nga patyon ang mga Spanish officials in Intramuros. Kaning Intramuros is gitawag ni siya the walled city of Manila. But the plot did not succeed because of a Filipino woman married to a Spaniards betrayed to plot, and mao ni hinungdan nga the masterminds were arrested and executed the revolt leaders. So the rebellion ultimately failed. And the fourth is revolt against the tribute in 1589. So revolt against the tribute, one of the earliest revolt against the taxes, started in Cagayan and Ilocos in 1589. In that year, the Filipinos were revolted because of the abuses of the tribute collectors. So tungod sa pag-abuse sa mga tribute collectors nga gitagan og mga tag-as nga kanang buhis, mga taxes. So nagsugod ning kaning revolts against the tribute katong atong naay gipatay silang 6 ka tax collector na Spaniards sa Vigan, and sugod adto nag-anam na og nagkadaghan ilahang gipatay nga Spaniards. And however, the Spanish governor Santiago de Vera pacified the rebel patriots, and he pardoned many of them and improved the tax system. So si kanang Santiago de Vera is nagkuan siya og iyang gi-improve ang tax system para fair siya. That's all about my topic, and I am Michaela Batuan, and thank you for watching and listening my report.
Good day, Ma'am. This is my report about Somoroy's Revolt in 1649 to 1650. So, ang Somoroy's Revolt kay gilid ni Agustin Somoroy dito sa Waray. So, a native palapag Samar led them in an armed revolt. So, gilid ni siya sa mga native palapag sa Samar. So, a Visayan Alcade's mayor ordered to sent men to work in the Cotton Naval shipyard. The Visayan men hated this order because they don't want to leave their homes and families. So mara sila kanang gi-force sila ba nga pa trabahoon. And then kanang kuan sad kato sa kuan polo serbisyo, nagkuan sad sila ning nagtrabaho sila bisag walay sweldo mo tong the Somoroy hated the polo. And then Somoroy and his men set up free government in the mountains of Samar. Mato siya. Pagka June 1, 1649, he and his men killed priests because on those days Spanish was really like the government. So ang mga Spanish priest daw kay mura daw og mga kanang mura na po sila og mga government bisag priest ra sila. Pag July 1650, government troops attack Somoroy's camp. Somoroy was caught alive and executed. So mato siya ang about sa Somoroy. So next we have the Agrarian Revolt in 1645 to 1646. So ang agrarian is a rebellion by people who are seeing economic or social change to land ownership of agriculture. So Filipino landowners in Batangas, Bulacan, Cavite, and Laguna revolted against Spanish rule. So nagrebel sila ani about Spanish. Their revolt was due to the land grabbing by Spaniards who over their ancestral lands. So si Lian and Nasugbo, the spark of revolt. So the Filipino in these towns demanded the return of their land and occupied by the Spanish priests. The Filipino burned the local churches, looted the convents, ruined the ranches of the priests. After some battles, the leaders were shot and exiled. Others were pardoned. After they surrendered, King Philip IV ordered the priests to return the stolen land to Filipinos. But the Spanish priests appealed the case and later won. So, nadaog sila mato siya sa agrarian revolt. So during the American era, American authorities both the fair lands owned by religious order. The land were subdivided and sold to Filipino farmers. So ang mga American authorities daw nagbot og land, fair lands owned by religious order. Gi-subdivided nila sa mga Filipino farmers. Mata sila. Next, we have the Bassi Revolt in 1807. So, the Bassi was the unusual revolt in the Philippine history. It was all about the love of homemade wine from the sugarcane called Bassi. So, gilid ni Pedro Mateo and Salarogo Ambaristo. So, sila yung nagled sa kanang Bassi Revolt in 1807. Pag 1786, the Spanish government took over the making of sale of they banned people making wines the Filipino hated to order. So pag September 28, 1807, the rebels were defeated by superior Spanish power. Many lives were unfortunately lost, all because the love for drinking wine. So Arita sa Religious Revolt of Hermano Pule 1840 to 1841. Si Apolinario de la Cruz, siya ang nagkuhan sa Hermano Pule from Barrio Pandak, Lucban, Tayabas, Quezon. Si Apolinario he started his own religion in Lucban. It was called the Cofradia de San Jose, or Confraternity of Saint Joseph. But the Spanish officials did not allow any other religious, so they banned his religious. Thousands of Filipinos in Tayabas, Laguna, Batangas, and Manila had already joined it. So the Spanish officials sent troops to break up the group. But Hermano and his followers took up arms and protect themselves. October 1841, at the Alitayo near Mount Cristobal, the government threw attack their camp and killed many followers including old, women, and children. So, mga gikilled nila ang many followers including sa mga men, women, including sa old, women, children rather. And then, November 4, 1841, Hermano Pule was executed in Tayaba. This war not the end of the story. So, pag kanida nga kuan is not the end of the story pa. Many Filipino soldiers secretly planned to take revenge on the hated Spaniards. So, ang mga kuan daw, mga Filipino soldiers nagsekreto sila og plan nga mag-take og revenge sa mga Spaniards. Next, we have the kuan. The loyalty troops defeated the rebels after a bloody combat. Samaniego and 18 followers were shot at the Lotena on Sunset on January 21, 1843. Ngano siya? Gishoot si Koan. Gishoot siya ato sa Lotena at Sunset on January 21, 1843. So art as a why revolts failed brother. The Filipinos were united instead of helping each others to oust the Spaniards. The Filipinos fought other. So the Spaniards used the Filipino lack of unity to continue oppressing them. There were no national leaders who united the people. There were no Gomburza, Rizal, Bonifacio, or Aguinaldo. Then, these national leaders only came in the 19th century. That's all. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, ma'am. My topic is all about Chapter 14, the propaganda movement and the Katipunan. The propaganda movement emerged in the late 19th century as Filipino intellectuals and students, known as Ilustrados. The Ilustrados sought to expose the abuses of Spanish colonial rule, advocate for reforms, and promote Filipino identity and nationalism. They used their writings, publications, and public speeches to raise awareness about the plight of the Filipino people and foster a sense of unity. Despite their efforts, the propaganda movement failed to achieve its goals, as the Spanish colonial government remained unwilling to grant meaningful reforms. And the Katipunan aimed to complete independence from Spain through armed revolution, unlike the Katipunan established a secret society with hierarchical structures patterned after Freemasonry, and recruited members, particularly from the working class and peasantry, to build a revolutionary force. Nationalism is a political ideology that emphasizes loyalty to nation, devotion to one's country, or fighting for its independence. Devotion sa usa ka nasod nga makig-away alang sa independence or freedom. Causes of nationalism. First, new ideas from abroad about the freedom and the right of man. For example, si Rizal katong niskwela siya sa abroad. Nya naka-learn siya dito nga or nahikahibaw siya nga na day rights na dito tagsa-tagsa ka rights or na tayo freedom as a Filipino. The second cause of nationalism is the opening of the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal is important to the Philippines because it shortened travel time and distance between Europe and Asia, which increased trade and Europe exchange. The canal made it easier for European travelers to reach the Philippines, which increased cultural exchange between two regions. The canal made travel to Spain quicker, easier, and more affordable, which led many Filipinos to study in Spain and Europe. The third cause of nationalism is the race prejudice against Filipino priests. The first Filipino priest to fight the secularization of Filipino parishes is Pedro Pilais, one of the native priests which led the movement in the period was Pedro Pilais from Laguna, along with Mariano Gomez. Pilais started organizing activities calling for the return of control of Philippines parishes to Filipino seculars. The Philippine secularization
meant merely nationalizing the Catholic Church by replacing the friars with native secular priests. This was a reaction to the Spanish friars who were perceived as an obstacle to education, progress, and freedom. The fourth causes of nationalism is the Spanish Revolution of 1868. The Spanish Revolution in 1868, which led to the overthrow of Queen Isabella II, had a significant impact on the Philippines, contributing to the rise of Filipino nationalism through the introduction of liberal ideas and the perception of a weakened Spanish colonial power. The revolution in Spain, which saw the end of the Bourbon monarchy and the establishment of a liberal government, signed a period of instability and weakened control in the Spanish colonies, including the Philippines. The new liberal government in Spain, led by General Francisco Serrano, appointed Carlos Maria de la Torre as the 91st Governor-General, and he implemented some reforms that were perceived as positive by the Filipinos. And the economic and social condition in the Philippines, including land issues, unjust taxation, and forced labor, also contribute to growth of national sentiment. The revolution was caused by political discontent and the unpopularity of Queen Isabella II. The revolution also sparked rebellions in Spanish colonies like Cuba and Puerto Rico. The Glorious Revolution in England. The fifth causes of nationalism is the martyrdom of the Gomburza. The martyrdom of Gomburza refers to the execution of three Filipino Catholic priests by Spanish authorities in 1872. The priests were Mariano Gomez, Jose Bordos, and Jacinto Zamora. The name of Gomburza is a combination of their surnames. The priests were accused of orchestrating the Cavite Mutiny in 1872. They were charged with treason and sedition. They were sentenced to public execution by Garrote and Bagumbayan, Philippines on February 17, 1872. Their execution became a turning point in Philippine independence movement. They inspired the Katipunan to commemorate the anniversary of their martyrdom. The martyrdom inspired subsequent generation of revolutionaries, intellectuals, and activists. Their legacy remains a powerful reminder of the sacrifice made in pursuit of freedom and justice.
In front of you to discuss about my topic about propaganda movement, La Solidaridad, La Liga Filipina, and Katipunan government. First, propaganda movement. This crusade for reform was done by means of Spain and sought to pressure the Spanish government. Ginawa sa pamagitan ng panulat at tila upang igiit ang pamahalaang Espanyol. The propagandists from the best, brightest, and richest family in the Philippines published articles for their crusade for reforms in La Solidaridad. Propagandist means is mga dato or leader from sa gaingon nga mga pinakamahusay, pinakamatalino, o pinakadato nga pamilya sa Pilipinas. Muna yung mga andaan nila is na sila sa politika. Then, most sila nag-publish sa articles for crusade for reforms in La Solidaridad. La Solidaridad was founded by Graciano Lopez Jaena its first editor. First issue appeared in Barcelona, Spain, February 15, 1899, moved to Madrid in November 1889. So, si Graciano Lopez Jaena he wrote a play entitled Fray, which revolves around the abuse and immorality of Spanish friar named voted, the official publication of propaganda movement. Next editor became Marcelino H. Del Villar. Marcelino H. Del Villar, he wrote many articles using pen name Plaridel. His writing include the Dasalan at Tuksuhan, Sagot ng Spanya sa Ibig ng Pilipina, etc. In 1882, he founded the first news paper called name Diaryong Tagalog. Then next is the La Liga Pilipina. La Liga Pilipina is a political association of patriotic Filipinos founded by Rizal to proceed for reforms. Then, napulkuan is ang La Liga Pilipina pod kay mo na siya itinatag ni Dr. Jose Rizal para danihon ng mga Pilipino na mahimong hapsay, buo ug seryoso sa pagpangganyo o pagbag-o sa hapsay nga pamaagi. Then, next is the Katipunan Government. Katipunan Government is for Andres Bonifacio and others wanted the Katipunan to replace the Spanish government in the Philippines. So, Constitution, 1892 and 1894. Supreme Council, kataas-taasang sanggunian was the central government with a president, a fiscal, a secretary, a treasurer, and a comptroller. Katipunan o sunod, kataas-taasan, kagalang-galangan, na katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan holds a prominent place in the Philippine history. Dili nila kuan ang independence pagka July 7, 1892. Nyagi kuan ang founder na kay si Andres Bonifacio. And that's all.
The Katipunan. In 1896, 20,000 members. So, ang kanang kuan ko no, sa pag 1896, so 20,000 na ikabok members sa kanang Katipunan. So, famous Katipuneros include Bonifacio Arellano, Emilio Jacinto, brains of Katipunan, Dr. Pio Valenzuela, and Valentin Diaz, and etc. So, daghan din sila nga famous Katipuneros. Then, women join in the Katipunan and serve as guard of the documents of the society. So, ang babay ko no kay kanang nisod, kanang ni-appeal ko no sa kanang sa Katipunan to serve as guards niya, secret initiation of the Katipunan. Candidate for membership was first blindfolded and entered a secret room. He had to pass test and a blood compact will be done afterwards. So, dali ni sila ka ng membership pa aron makakapit ka, aron makasulod ka sa ilahang kanang murag kanang nga kanang para nas exclusive bra sa mga kanang apiling ani. Then, next is Katipunan literature. So, three writers of the Katipunan were, the first one is Andres Bonifacio. Wrote Decalogue of the Katipunan collection of wise saying for Katipuneros and pag-ibig na tinubuang lupa or love for the country. Next is Emilio Jacinto. Wrote the Cartilla or collection of teachings of Katipunan and La Patria. So ang meaning diyan ng Cartilla is guide din sila sa ilang pagtudlo. Guidebook din siya. Then ang kining La Patria is to my fatherland. Next is Dr. Pio Valenzuela. Held Bonifacio and Jacinto to Katipunan newspaper, Kalayan, and wrote at his name, Katwiran o Katuiran, it is a fair. So, next is Discovery of the Katipunan. Teodoro Patino, one of the Katipuneros, revealed the secrets of Katipunan to Father Hill, which led to discovery honor because of his fear. So tungod ni Teodoro Patino na kanang na-reveal ang mga secret sa mga kanang katipuneros niya to Father Hill, which need to discover because of his faith. So ang kini si Father Hill kay kuan man siya kayo siya kanang religious ba siya kaayos tanan niya. So kanang nadyo siya kahadlok. So many Filipinos were arrested but many katipuneros also escaped, including Bonifacio. So kinadaghanan dahil nga mga kanang Filipinos ang nadakpan niya. Ang uban na nakas niya apil na ato si Bonifacio. Next is historical values. The Filipinos can only solve their problem if they are united. So kita man yung mga Pinoy no kay kanang natay problema aron ma-hapsay or di aron makanang mauli nato. So dapat magtapok kanon yun. The Filipinos love freedom and hate tyranny. So kisabay dahil ganahan o kanang kuan freedom. Next, Filipinos spoke out against the cruel treatment of our people. Next, we must remember and honor these heroes who fought for our rights during the Spanish era. So, dako man jud ta kayo kanang kuan, dako man kayo tag ng tahon aning mga Philippine heroes nato kay tungod og di kamo sila ta. A violent revolution does not end a nation's problem foreseen by Dr. Jose Rizal.